doing?
Joe, what did you see sort of as the key to turning that game around and getting some rhythm going on offense?
Well, listen, the first key is that blocked extra point, the fact that you can get 2 points on it now, because that forces them to get in the end zone at the end. Listen, I felt like we could. There was room out there to make plays and get the ball downfield and get the ball in our guys' hands and score some points. I think we're working on something good. We just need to turn it over to points. We'll have big chunks here and there, and then I'll turn the ball over, or we'll have a penalty or something like that. I think we're still working on something good, and we just need to find a way to turn that into points.
What does being able to come back from a 3-touchdown deficit say about this group?
Listen, I just told those guys, man, I couldn't be more proud of a group of guys, a bunch of freaking men. And yeah, do you want to play that kind of game? As it wasn't pretty. We weren't perfect. We weren't great. Do you want to play that kind of game in September? Not necessarily. But every single game in January and then come February, where we hope to be, is going to be like that. There's going to be tough situations, and that's why over the years, these games have just taken us to that next level, and just really made us so mentally tough that when we get in those games, we don't blink. We've already been through it 4, 5, 6 times, in September, October, November, and that's why we can be so good late in the year. And I think this is one of those games that's going to help some of our young guys out with confidence and toughness and a lot of those things that help you win late in the year.
So what is going through your head, though, when you're down 20-0? I mean, you were down 14-0 through the interception, and then you get down 20. What is going through your head?
The same thing that's going through your guys' head. I mean, or if you guys are true Ravens fans' heads, everybody's sitting there and they're probably sitting on the couch MF'ing each other and doing all those things, and we're doing the same things on the bench. I'm sure I throw the pick, and I'm sure defensive guys are kind of pissed about it. And it happened very quickly. You have a lot of time. We had a lot of time left in the game. Our defense did not let up another point the whole entire game, and we should have scored more, and we just didn't. We had them on the ropes, and in the second, at the end of the second quarter, into the third quarter, and then like midway through the third quarter, we kind of let up a little bit. Probably started with that pick I threw to Rashad.
Joe, it seemed like you were taking a lot more shots late in the second quarter and then coming out in the third quarter. Did you feel like you were too conservative maybe early, and you just had, or was the score dictate that you had to take?
I said to Mark, we're going fast, we're moving, but it feels like we're getting 2 yards, 3 yards, 6 yards, 2 yards, and everything's still taking long. So let's get into more of a groove of trying to get some chunks, just calling some plays. They don't have to be perfect, but I think we can let our players make some plays and get some good opportunities. And I think that's what happened with the 2-minute drive. I hit Dennis on a little out route, and that kind of got us going.
Can you expand upon Dennis? Not just your relationship, but the fact that he could go out and have a game like this today. At what point did you start to visualize that this could happen, that he could be a starter and could be this effective?
Well, I never really didn't think if he was coming back, I felt like he was going to be productive. And, I've seen him last year when he came back for a couple weeks in practice before they made a decision to not let him play. He looked good. He looked like himself. And I think he's going to get more and more comfortable as the year goes on. Just got to keep him healthy.
How valuable is it for you to have kind of that security blanket? You've been to the in those third down key situations.
Yeah, well, he knows what they're trying to do to him, and they were playing man coverage a couple times in those last third and shorts, and I hit him crossing to the left and I hit him crossing to the right, and if he doesn't win there, who knows what happens? I have to scramble around and try to make a play, or maybe somebody else is open, but that was really he was really the man beater on those plays, and if he doesn't win, we're probably in a little bit of trouble.
So how much will a running game help your offense and help your play action?
Yeah, I think we're not getting a ton of yardage right now, and we're doing some different stuff. It probably isn't giving our linemen the best chance of being super physical, but I think it's keeping defenses off balance, and we're doing multiple things, and eventually it's going to pop. And I think you can see in that last drive, we were able to pick up a handful of first downs running the football, and I think that's where we're trying to go with this thing is we want to get up 20-0, and then we want to run teams over late in the game, and it's just not going that way yet. But we just got to stay consistent, stay at it, and eventually it'll turn.
Surprised Pitto kept getting off the line of scrimmage, free releases. They weren't even putting a hand on it.
Yeah, hey, what are you going to do? I mean, I think we got a good amount of weapons, and that definitely helps. We got guys that can stretch the field. We got running backs that can run the ball and catch the ball out of the backfield. And when you decide to do those things, you're definitely taking a calculated risk, and it's not one of the things they did today.
Good.